Zadrizes buzdaris gozdau.
You know what? I'm going to jump into the House of the Dragon leaks here in a second, but I often ask people to submit to me questions. I'm going to turn those tables. Well, the tables have turned. I'm going to ask you all a series of questions. Please let me know the answers down below in the comment section. First question: who is your favorite dragon? Mine is Caraxes. Second question: who is your favorite character? Not just in House of the Dragon, but also in Game of Thrones and all of A Song of Ice and Fire if you've read the books. Who's your favorite character? Mine, Daemon, Jon Snow, and Daenerys, and it's tied 3 ways because I find traits in each of those characters that I love. And the third and final question that I want to propose to you all watching this House of the Dragon leak video is, what exact day do you think Season 2 will premiere? If I had to guess, I would say around the middle of April on a Sunday, 2024. Okay, so before I jump into it, please do me a massive favor. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoyed this video, please slap a like on it. The like goal is going to be 420. And then also, this is the most important part. Please, if you've slapped a like on this video, go ahead and subscribe, because if you subscribe, you can turn your notifications on. Turn them all the way to like all. There's all, personalized, and none. If you click on all, you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout the wait for House of the Dragon Season 2, The Winds of Winter, The Jon Snow Show, and any other series that comes out in the Song of Ice and Fire universe, or as it's known on this channel, The Long Night. Also, if you're a really big fan and want some more content, like right now, go and join my Patreon, or consider joining it. You can join for as little as $1 and get an exclusive about 20 hours worth of content. And recently, I started uploading videos there. Okay, now this information is to be taken with a grain of salt, because even though some of it seemingly is probably going to happen in Season 2, nothing is confirmed until it airs on our screens. Okay, so this person mentions, remember, these were sent to me through the DMs over on Twitter. You can go follow me if you want at Sir_Hunts. But this person mentions that literally the reason why the Jon Snow show hasn't been announced and why it hasn't been like officially made public that it's gone into being greenlit and they've started writing scripts and starting to recast characters is because the plot of it is waiting for Season 2 of House of the Dragon. This person mentions that if they were to announce anything on the Jon Snow show, people would start looking, we'd find leaks, we'd find them filming. They did mention that the Burning of Winterfell, it was filmed and will be banked for this show. But basically, if any of that was revealed, it would spoil Season 2 House of the Dragon. So they're just holding back because of that, according to this person. Remember, it's a load of horse crap because nothing is confirmed until it airs on our screens. They also mention that in the opening scene of House of the Dragon Season 2, Jace will meet with Cregan. Cregan is hostile at first and not very welcoming. He ends up forcing Jace to wait before he can be received in, obviously Cregan hears his petition of trying to get them to ally themselves with the Blacks, his mother, Rhaenyra. The person also mentions that in the dialogue that's exchanged, Jace apparently slightly offends Cregan, and they get off on the wrong foot, and this is why Cregan is initially hostile towards Jace. But eventually they will bond through hunting. Basically, a hunting party will happen because of directly related to Vermax's eating habits. Basically, Cregan tells Jace winter is coming and he cannot feed a dragon. Obviously, he's got more important things like keeping the North alive than trying to, give all of his food to a dragon. So obviously, this will force Jace to go hunting with Vermax to, get food for his dragon while they're there. And then also, obviously, Cregan and Sarah Snow supposedly join Jace on this expedition. Now, this person goes on to say that after a few episodes, so, those scenes all happen in the first episode. The opening scene is Jace meeting with Cregan, but they said that after a few episodes happen, we end up catching back up with them, and Sarah at some point seduces Jace and is now pregnant with his child. She's a green seer and will know when she becomes pregnant, is what this person mentions. And then they also say that Vermax, because of how cold it is in Winterfell, ends up sleeping in Winterfell's crypts. And this is the most important thing, or the most interesting thing in this leak, and this is the whole reason why I made this freaking video. This person says Vermax ended up sleeping in the crypts of Winterfell. Makes sense. There's a hot spring down there. That's why House Stark is able to really live there in the depths of deep, deep winter. They pipe the water from the hot springs up into the walls, and it keeps Winterfell and the castle itself seemingly warm. But, it's mentioned in the Song of Ice and Fire, World of Ice and Fire, Fire and Blood. When I say a Song of Ice and Fire, I mean the main series of books that dragons hate the cold. Remember, Alicent, this is canon, flew her dragon to the wall while being bored, while waiting for her husband Jaehaerys to show up in Winterfell. Right? She flies north to the wall, and her dragon refuses, Silverwing, her dragon, refuses to fly north of the wall because of activities that are happening there. At least I assume that. We never actually know the reason why Alicent, right? The old king's wife, not Alicent on the TV show, not the Greens, not Viserys' wife, but his grandfather, Jaehaerys, and his grandmother, Alicent, they did this in the north. And there's a reason why Silverwing didn't fly north. So apparently, going back to the leaks here, this person mentions that Virmax will sleep in the Winterfell crypts since the hot springs are down there and will keep the dragon docile. So apparently, this person mentions that one of the reasons why Virmax is sleeping in the crypts is because Virmax lashed out and ripped off a few arms of some House Stark guardsmen. So Virmax is forced to sleep down in the crypts where it's warm and the docile because of the heat. The dragon is more docile because of the heat. And apparently, while down in the crypts, Virmax will lay a clutch of eggs. And jumping ahead a bit, this is the plot line that ties into the Jon Snow show, right? So they say that, Virmax is sleeping down there, lays a clutch of eggs, and then Cregan, going back to that plot line, because remember, Jace got Sarah Snow pregnant, and Sarah Snow knows about it. She's a green seer. Cregan discovers that Jacaerys has impregnated his sister, Sarah, and makes him marry her in a ceremony that takes place in the Godswood. Now, this person is just pulling information from Fire and Blood, but it's really fun. Even though it's a load of horse crap, this is kind of tying a few things together. Shout out to this person. But like I said, it's a load of horse crap. Cregan discovers Jace impregnates Sarah and makes him marry her, right? He says he will not raise a bastard. So that's kind of interesting. He's like the opposite of Ned Stark, although Ned was only doing that because it was his sister's son, not his actual bastard. So continuing on here, the last thing this person mentions is that the Snow series will continue this plot, with Virmax's eggs being found in the crypts, and Sansa sends a raven to Bran, messaging him to ask him what they should do. He tells them the eggs are Jon's and that winter is coming again. Now obviously that last part, load of horse crap, was really fun. I don't need to include my opinion too much. Let me just rerun through the leaks again and keep this video kind of short. I take up a lot of you guys' time. So number one, this person said that literally the plot of the Snow show has to wait for season 2 of Hot D for it to make sense, and so it doesn't spoil anything. Number two, in the opening scene, Jace will meet with Cregan. Cregan is hostile at first and not welcoming. He ends up forcing Jace to wait to be received. In the dialogue that's exchanged, when Cregan and Jace finally do meet, Jace slightly offends Cregan, and they get off on the wrong foot. Eventually, they bond through a hunting party that happens because Virmax cannot eat Winterfell's food. Like, basically, Cregan tells Jace, winter is coming and I cannot feed a dragon. This forces Jace to go hunting to find food for his dragon with Virmax and Cregan and Sarah Snow. And there's just like a massive party that leaves Winterfell and goes hunting in the Godswood, and this is where Cregan and Sarah Snow and Jace kind of bond. And then they go on to say that after a few episodes, we catch back up with him, and Sarah seduces Jace at some point and is now pregnant with his child. Virmax is forced to sleep in Winterfell's crypts because it's warmer, and also because the dragon is hostile and lashes out towards Winterfell's soldiers. And this is where Virmax will lay eggs in the crypts of Winterfell. Apparently, there's a necessity where Virmax and Jace get a vision. Like, I didn't include this the first time because it's complete crap, but the person said that Virmax and Jace have like a joint time-traveling vision, and Virmax learns of the necessity for him to need to lay eggs down in the crypts of Winterfell. Complete nonsense. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. And then the last two things I mentioned is that Cregan discovers Jace impregnated Sarah and makes them get married, as he will not raise a bastard. And then lastly, the Jon Snow sequel, the Jon Snow series, will continue this plot with Virmax's eggs being found in the crypts, and Sansa messages Bran to tell her that they've been found, because they're doing like some sort of like, rebuilding of the crypts, and then he tells them that those eggs belong to Jon and that winter is coming. Alright, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could, please slap a like on this video. Like goal is going to be 420. And then also, this is the most crucial part. If you subscribe, turn your notifications all the way. Oh, please subscribe, by the way. But turn your notifications all the way on. Like, not personalized or none, but all. So that way you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout the wait for House of Dragon Season 2, The Winds of Winter, The Jon Snow Show, any other series in the Song of Ice and Fire universe that's known on this channel. Also, consider checking out my Patreon. If you really like my content, that is where I am allowed to be myself. You can join for as little as $1, and there are over 20 hours of exclusive content available immediately. And thank you for watching. If that's all you could do, that's the most important thing. So thank you for putting your eyes on this video.